Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're gonna. Oh God! Did I flag my hand technically? Did I? We're stealing this from. Is it clear and safe? I don't know. You tell me. As the chewing gets louder, This is obviously clear and safe. Or is it? If you hear chewing, it's my dog gnawing on his bone. I want to talk about the tactical games, at least the tactical game skirmish. It's basically like a local event, right? It's only ran by whatever affiliated CrossFit gyms host them or are allowed to host them. That again are affiliated with Tactical Games proper, the actual owners of the company. And most of these CrossFit gyms help facilitate the regional events. If I'm not mistaken, they do, because CrossFit Rado helped with the facilitation of the regional event that happened at the Ben Avery facility. So, what's it called? Shout out to CrossFit Rado. If you're looking for a CrossFit gym that also has like a block of time where you do tactical games related like workouts and events, that's the place to go. They're here north of me. I live in Gilbert, Arizona, so they're like in Mesa technically, I think. I could be wrong. Really easy to look up. It's CrossFit Raid, RAIDO, HO or OH. It's the only one, and then the only ones associated with tactical games, skirmishes, Phoenix / tactical games, period. So why did I show you guys those guns? I showed you guys those guns because I want to demonstrate that at least in the local event, very, very local, mind you, you can look me up on Practice Score and see for yourself. But out of the 28 competitors, I think, total, I was number 4 overall. Never done an event, didn't know what to expect. Signed in as intermediate. It goes for men's intermediate, tactical, and elite. And then there's the age ranges like 40 plus, 60 plus, or 50 plus, I think. So I did the intermediate because I didn't know what to expect. Even though I did intermediate, my plate carrier still weighed, I think, about just at or just over 15 pounds. I have the jacked rabbit plates, 7.5 pounds each or 7 pounds each. And then my plate carrier with all the nylon on it should weigh roughly a pound. So all I know is that it cleared during check-ins. So that's all that matters. And I know it's over the intermediate requirement. Check out the tactical games online if you want to look at the rule set, see what the guidelines are, yada yada yada. The handgun and the rifle that I showed you are the weapons I used during the event. I thought it was kind of funny. On a quick side note, that sorry, bud. On a quick side note, I used essentially red dot. It's a prism, whatever, 1x prism, red dot magnifier combo. And the guy who went first overall, if I'm not mistaken, he also did red dot magnifier combo with a holographic sight, just your standard EXPS. Despite him using a red dot magnifier combo, he came out first overall. Clearly, he was making hits. Clearly, he was fit enough, and he was. He was the only men's elite competitor, I think, for that event, and yeah, like he absolutely blew me out of the water. I would say points wise, if again, you can compare for yourself and see for yourself because practice score doesn't lie. right? Mental pauses when speaking. So I find that funny because there was a comment by one, maybe two people, and majority of people in the tactical games, they're using LPVOs, right? To each their own. At the end of the day, what you train with the most and what you're proficient with is what you should use. I I think it's become the norm to have a rifle scope, a more higher magnification prism style optic. So I think it's common culture to have a higher magnification prism style optic. It's just what's normal because of the distance of shooting, and some people want to be just that much more precise. They want to make sure they land their hits, but you're not shooting past 200 yards to my understanding. I have yet to do a regional event. I have yet to do a national event. But from my understanding, with all the content that is out there, you're not shooting past 200 yards, maybe 250. So even out of an 11 and a half inch AR-15 that was shooting 55 grain 223, just random PMC bronze, if I'm not mistaken, my gun's zeroed. I know what my holds are for a 50-yard zero with that offset, with that optic and sight and reticle and all that nonsense. I know where to hold the gun. So most of my points deductions that I received was from my handgun shooting because I was still getting into the game, if you will, of the tactical games. So it was pretty normal. It is clear and safe, just so you guys know. So most of the points deductions I got was from my handgun shooting, because especially the first event, because we were doing single hand shooting only with each sides, and initially just the tension, just the insane amount of or tension that you have because you're coming off of a workout. My hand, just I could tell I'm going for the shot, and now I'm second guessing myself. What's it called? I'm going for the shot, and I'm just death gripping the gun because I'm just coming off of gripping something else and doing all these movements, and I'm just putting too much tension as I break the shot, just causing the gun to go down. So I would say the almost first 10 plus rounds of my handgun, just like missing. And then eventually I got relaxed. And at the end, it is stress shooting. You're shooting under tension, under load, under coming off of intensity, whatever it is, and then having to bring yourself back to a baseline of the fundamentals of shooting. So you're going from the fundamentals of exercise and working out in competitive athleticism to the fundamentals of shooting. And they're very comparable to each other, but they're also very different from each other. Because with shooting, I would say, and I think in the opinion of most actual professional shooters, you're trying to be just tense enough, you know, just enough so that the gun doesn't fly out of your hand or you lose it or anything like that, but not so much so that you're over putting input that causes variation in your shots, relying on your vision and then breaking the shot at the right time. You may notice a lighting change. You may also notice an angle change. I think it's closer now, whatever. I'm not a professional. I lost my track of thought. I had to review footage because my dog was just getting unsettled because he's acting like he's neglected, and he's not. Look me up on Instagram. You'll see that he's not. But I was getting into the shooting preferences that people have. Like it seems like pretty commonplace that most people have uh, higher magnification prism style optics, rifle scopes, LPVOs, what have you. And I thought it was interesting how I was looked at by one or two people specifically. Most people don't care. They're just busy doing their own thing. But it was a couple guys that I was already kind of BSing with, that I had just met the day of that event, the morning of that event. And I find it interesting because looking at the videos, everyone does have their setup. It is more common to have the offset or top mounted dot and an LPVO style optic of some type rather than a red dot magnifier combo. But again, you're shooting for a rifle, you're shooting at close distances. Now, do targets get harder? I don't know. They probably do. Maybe there are smaller shaped targets in the tactical games at the regional events or the national events. I have yet to shoot one, so I can't speak to it, where maybe higher magnification is more required. But I know my holds, and I have enough like mental faculty to stay concentrated enough when shooting my rifle, even standing at 50, to just, okay, hold the gun here, especially a 50 yard zero, just hold dead center of the shape, whatever that shape is. And it's at least the ones we shot was like the pretty reasonably sized triangle, like the 10-inch triangle or something. So yeah, just hold dead center, pull the trigger. I already learned about 10-inch zones not too long ago. So it's not hard, it's not difficult. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be preference. Better magnifications, better clarity. Better clarity is more confirmation, more certainty with your shots for sure. But I mean, it's not precision shooting. It's fundamentals of shooting, I would argue. The shooting demand isn't super high, I would say, from my one experience. I think if you have a solid foundation, if you're like a B class shooter in USPSA or an equivalent, you'll do fine in the shooting aspect of the tactical games. And if you've been following like the T-Rex Arms channel, I think uh what's his name, Brandon, I think he does a good job when he stated, because I've seen his videos in the past on their channel, and he said how the fitness is what gets you to the shooting. So you don't have to be the fittest guy if you do intermediate and you're not like someone who's an avid gym goer, yeah, you'll probably have a hard time. For reference, I'm 5'9", 5'10" if my spine's not compressed and I stand up with good posture. I weigh about 200 pounds. I can still do multiple mile intervals at like an 8 to 8 30-minute mile pace. I can easily bench 225 pounds. I can easily back squat 315 pounds. I can easily deadlift 315 pounds. These are just numbers that I'm just giving you guys so that you have an idea. I can easily snatch 135 pounds, pretty easily clean 185, 205 pounds. I can pull up 80 plus extra pounds plus my body weight, strict, promise, not kipping, not cheating, like strict. Uh, so yeah, I give those numbers as a relative perspective of like, these are my dimensions as a human being, and these are my capabilities in terms of strength and like speed. And I can repeatedly do these things in the same day, yada yada yada. So I had an easy enough time at the intermediate level. I probably could have done the tactical level, which was just honestly demand pushing more weight at some of the events. But with the exception of one event, I think from this specific skirmish, I I mean, I had a 15-pound plate carrier, so I was basically competing as like a tactical level athlete, men's tactical. Um, technically men's elite, just minus the weight requirement. With, again, I think one event. I think all the other events, there was no difference in expectation. I think there was one event where if you're tactical, you are moving this weight. If you're elite, you are moving this weight. That was the one event, if I'm not mistaken. I'm saying event a lot. So you don't have to be the fittest guy on the planet. You don't have to be some top tier on your worst day, still an A class shooter, just to try it out and have fun. Like, it's a good time. You might meet some people that you like. You might make a new friend. You might realize like, wow, I want to be fitter. Wow, I want to be a better shooter. Because the shooting, even though the fitness gets you to the shooting, the shooting still matters because the shooting is either the event is essentially time plus or time, well, yeah, just time plus in the sense of it's your time to complete the exercise plus the penalties of whatever misses, or plus points, so to your benefit, of whatever hits. Some events, every miss is a penalty. Other events, misses don't matter, but you don't get the points for the hits you could have gotten. It just depends. So your shooting will either get you points, or your misses, again, in your shooting, will add time to your overall time. So the shooting still matters, because if you shoot 15 misses and it's a time penalty, not a time plus points, um, that's 150 seconds added to your overall time. That could be a pretty big deal for a 12-minute event. So if the event's 12-minute time cap and you got a guy who finishes it at 9 minutes, but he missed like 2 minutes worth of hits, well, now he's at 11. And the guy who finished at 10:45, but let's say he just shot super clean, no misses, well, that guy just won. So even though he was like almost 2 minutes slower on the movement, right? So your shooting still matters. You need a good baseline of fitness and you need a good foundational baseline of shooting. The shooting doesn't demand high skill level, but it does demand solid foundational fundamental skills, I would argue. And the ability to go from tense to relaxed very quickly, which again, it's stress shooting. And I think that's a good skill to have. And these competition matches, you can't replicate what they give you unless you have the time, resources, and like location and ability. You pay your fee and then you get to have an experience that you probably can't facilitate on your own. And nothing breeds improvement like just a competitive environment. So tactical games, really fun. You don't need anything fancy. You'll get by with just this. I did in my small little pond. Um, what's it called? And then again, same thing. You'll get, this is exactly how you see it. It's what I used. Either 124 or 147 grain. I don't really remember. Nothing fancy. Standard 223 PMC bronze 55 grain. Most of my deductions came from me just shooting like crap with my handgun and forgetting my fundamentals in the very beginning. And then I cleaned it way the hell up towards as the day progressed on, because I just had to remind myself. I had more time than I thought. Um, Everybody's got a different baseline. You know yourself best, but you won't know what your limitations are if you don't try it. You should try it, just because maybe your numbers in terms of the fitness, like the very surface level fitness gauge I gave out, don't match mine. Doesn't mean you can't do it. Maybe you'll have a harder time, but you'll still have a good time. It'll still be fun. You'll still learn a lot. And maybe it'll motivate you to get better in terms of your fitness, or get better in terms of your shooting, because maybe you are fit enough, but your fundamentals suck, or you're still so tense off the workout you don't know how to bring yourself down. So it's a good time. I would try it out. Again, look up CrossFit Rado if you happen to live in the eastern side of Phoenix, I would say. And they normally shoot at Cowtown. That's where they basically exclusively do their matches. So it's a bit of a drive depending on what part of Arizona you're coming from. But for the experience, it's kind of hard to beat. It's worth it. It's hard to replicate. You can't just do it on your own. You don't need anything fancy. You could do the whole thing with just irons if you want. So again, if you have solid fundamentals, you'll be fine, because there's a lot of shooters that prove that a red dot doesn't mean you shoot faster or faster or better. It just makes shooting easier. Doesn't make you better though. So yep, you just go out there, try it out. I think it's worth the money. I think it's worth the time, and I hope that this wasn't a waste of time for you, and that you enjoyed this video. I should be oh snap! I should be shooting a Hose Masters match tomorrow, and then I'm shooting in the all 8 steel classifiers for Steel Challenge, or the all 8 classifiers for Steel Challenge Sunday. And I'm going to try to get videos with the match directors for those. So we'll see. Like I said in one of my previous videos, the objective of this is to go through all the local matches, all the variety of local matches that exist in like between Tucson to Phoenix area, and we'll see how it goes. If there's an interest there, all the different kinds of matches that exist, if maybe one offers something that someone didn't realize they were looking for, or as well as like the different kind of gun clubs. It might even get to that point. We'll see. It'll take time. All right, I got nothing else for you. Have a good night. Flow, because I'm already bad enough with not having a script. Hey bud, I know I love you too, but I need you to give dad some time, okay? I know you've been feeling a little neglected, but that's what happens when I actually go to work and I don't just stay home all day like you want me to. Okay? Sometimes I'm gone for like half of the day, half of the waking hours. That's just how it goes. I love you, bud. I love you. I just want you to be quiet. Oh, good boy. Just. Go home. Theodore, go home. Go home. Stop.